What's going on, guys? Let's get started today. The neon light cast onto the pale faces of the people shivering in the darkness. New Haven City had never been so silent. The once bustling streets were now deserted, like a giant graveyard. Every door was shut tight, every window pitch black. No one dared to go out after sunset, because it was out there. I stood on the rooftop of the Eclipse Tower, the freezing wind blowing through my golden armor still stained with blood I had not had time to wipe clean. The blood of my teammates, the blood of those who once fought alongside me. 7 heroes, 7 friends, all had fallen within just 2 weeks. Ultimate Venom. That name now sent chills down one's spine just to utter it. Not because it was strong, though it was indeed terrifyingly strong, but because of the way it fought. The way it looked into your eyes and rummaged through every corner of your soul. The way it whispered secrets that you yourself did not dare admit. I clenched my fist, solar energy flickering around my arm. I am Eclipse, the strongest hero of New Haven, the one called the flame that never dies. But right now, deep inside, I felt an emotion I had not tasted for many years. Fear. Marcus, you have to run. Silver Falcon's scream still echoed in my ears. She, one of the bravest people I had ever known, had cried when facing it. Her once proud silver wings torn to shreds like scraps of paper, her body bound tight by pitch-black tendrils. I had arrived too late. When I landed at the abandoned warehouse in the Port District, all that remained was a piece of silver cape and a pool of black blood evaporating. And at the very center, like a god of darkness, it stood there waiting for me. Eclipse. Its voice did not come from its mouth. It resonated directly inside my head, like the sound of hundreds of souls screaming, "Finally, you have come. I have been waiting for the main course for a very long time." For the first time, I saw it at such close range. Ultimate Venom no longer resembled any symbiote version I had ever faced. Its body stood nearly 3 meters tall, black muscles rippling beneath an outer skin glossy like molten asphalt. Dozens of stark white eyes grew all over its body, each pair of eyes an absorbed hero. I recognized Silver Falcon's sapphire blue eyes looking at me from its left shoulder. You killed them." "Killed?" Venom laughed, the sound like tearing metal. "No, Eclipse. I freed them. They are now a part of me, living forever in my power, and you will be too." It lunged so fast I could only glimpse a black streak ripping through space. I unleashed solar energy, creating a blast of light enough to incinerate an entire building. But Venom only laughed. It pierced through the light like piercing through mist, its tendrils lashing at me with monstrous strength. I was hurled through 3 concrete walls. "Your light is beautiful," Venom whispered, standing over the rubble where I lay. "But I have absorbed pyro. Fire no longer hurts me." And Banshee. It laughed, the sound so shrill I had to clutch my head. Sound is now my weapon. I tried to stand, but a tendril pierced through my shoulder, pinning me to the floor. The excruciating pain left me breathless. And then it began. Venom's most terrifying power. Images flooded my mind. I saw myself at 12 years old, standing before my family's burning house, helplessly watching my parents consumed by the sea of fire, the very fire that later became my power. I saw Aurora, my first love, dying in my arms because I could not control my energy. I saw all the times I failed, the people I could not save, the promises I could not keep. "You think you are a hero?" Venom whispered. "You are just a coward clad in the armor of deceit. Inside, you know the truth. You are a walking catastrophe. Everything you touch turns to ashes." Tears streamed down my face. Not from physical pain, but because those words touched the deepest part of my soul, the part I had buried for so many years beneath the shell of a hero. "Yes," Venom growled with satisfaction. "Feel your own fear. Let it consume you. Let it—" An explosion rang out. Sarah, my wife, had fired a flare into Venom's face. It did not hurt it, but was enough to distract it for a split second. In that moment, I exploded with all my remaining strength, creating a solar energy storm enough to push it back for a fleeting instant. I grabbed Sarah and flew away, leaving Venom's savage laughter echoing behind me. "Run, Eclipse! But remember, I will find you, and next time, no one will be there to save you." I returned to the mansion in a miserable state. The wound on my shoulder had been bandaged by Sarah, but the most grievous damage was to my pride and my courage. "Marcus, look at me." Sarah took my hand, her gentle brown eyes looking straight into mine. She was not a superhero, just an ordinary doctor. But at this moment, she was my only anchor. "What did it say to you?" I could not answer. How could I tell her that a monster had seen through every layer of my defense and touched my most primal fear? That I truly believed the words it spoke? I cannot defeat it, Sarah. My voice was hoarse. It has absorbed too much power. Fire, sound, every weakness of a symbiote is useless. And it can see your fear. It knows how to destroy you from the inside. Sarah was silent for a long moment. Then she stood up, walked toward the bookshelf, and took out an old dossier. 3 days ago, while you were out fighting it, I contacted Dr. Reed. He has studied symbiotes for the past 30 years. And he told me one thing. She opened the dossier, pointing to a highlighted passage. I squinted to read in the dim light. Symbiotes are not evil creatures. They are lonely entities, seeking connection. But like a mirror, they reflect and amplify the strongest emotion of the host. If the host is filled with hatred, they become monsters. But if the host... I stopped reading, a thought flashing through my mind. If the host can overcome their fear, if the host shows them a different emotion, I whispered. Love, Sarah said. Compassion, hope, things that Carl Brock, the first criminal to be parasitized by a symbiote, never had. But before I could think further, a familiar sound rang out. That chilling laughter. It had come. The roof of the mansion was torn apart like paper. Ultimate Venom landed in the middle of the living room, its body glistening in the darkness like a god of destruction. The dozens of eyes on its body all turned toward me simultaneously. Running time is over. Eclipse. I pushed Sarah behind me, flaring with solar energy. She has nothing to do with this. Oh, but she does. Venom laughed. Before I could react, a tendril had wrapped around Sarah and pulled her toward it. Your greatest fear is not death. It is losing those you love, and I will show you that. No. I lunged forward, but Venom had already vanished, taking Sarah with it. Only its laughter remained, and a line of text carved into the wall with black fluid. Subway Tunnel 7. Come alone, if you want to see her alive. I had never flown so fast. Subway Tunnel 7, where it all began. It was here, 10 years ago, that I had my first battle as Eclipse. And now, it would be the place of the final battle. The damp walls were covered with moss and black slime. Venom had turned this place into its nest. The deeper I went, the thicker the air became, as if the darkness itself had weight. And then I saw them. Sarah was suspended in midair, black tendrils wrapped around her like a cocoon. She was alive, but unconscious. And beneath her, Venom stood there, arms spread wide as if welcoming me. You have come. Good. Release her, you monster. Monster? Venom tilted its head, its voice almost sad. You understand nothing, do you, Eclipse? You think I am a devil, but I am only a mirror. I show humans their true nature. It stepped forward, and images flooded my mind again. But this time, I saw not only my own pain, I saw its pain too. I saw the original symbiote, lost and alone, drifting through the universe for millions of years. I saw it searching for a host, yearning for connection. But every host it found, from Knull, the god of darkness, to Carl Brock, only gave it hatred, violence, and fear. It had never known love. It had never known the warmth of an embrace, the joy of sacrifice, or the feeling of being accepted. It is pitiful. I spoke those words not to mock. I truly felt that way. And the moment I acknowledged it, Venom froze. For the first time, I saw confusion in its dozens of eyes. You, what did you say? I said, you are pitiful. I lowered my fist. You spend your entire life spreading fear, but you yourself are the most afraid of all. You fear being alone, fear being rejected, fear that no one will accept who you truly are. Shut up, Venom roared, its tendrils thrashing wildly around the room. But I did not stop. I stepped closer. You search for the perfect host, but you never give them a chance to understand you. You only know how to force, to invade, to destroy. That is not connection. That is possession. You know nothing about me. Venom lunged, sharp claws aimed at my heart. I did not dodge. I stood still. Then show me. The claws stopped right before my chest. Venom stood there, panting, its body trembling with rage, or something else. You are not afraid of me? I am, I admitted. I am afraid of losing Sarah. I am afraid of failure. I am afraid of the ghosts of the past. But I am not afraid of you. Because beneath all these layers of power and hatred, you are just a creature searching for a home. I reached out my hand, touching Venom's glossy black surface. It was cold as ice, but I did not pull back. I cannot erase your past, but I can give you a different future. If you are willing, A moment of silence stretched into eternity. Then suddenly, I felt it, a change. The black substance began to dissolve, the stark white eyes closing one pair after another. And from within the giant mass of matter, a human figure fell out. Karl Brock, gaunt and exhausted, but alive. What happened? Brock whispered, his eyes wide with confusion. The symbiote did not disappear. It flowed out of Brock's body like a stream of black mercury, gathering in front of me into a smaller, weaker form. It trembled. It was afraid. You are right, its voice whispered, so small it was barely audible. I have never known what it is to be loved. I knelt down, reaching my hand toward the symbiote. Then let me teach you. The moment it touched my skin, I felt everything. Millions of years of loneliness, the pain of thousands of hosts, the screaming of trapped souls. It was overwhelming, but I did not resist. I opened my heart and let it see everything. I showed it the nights I cried alone after Aurora's death. I showed it the day I saved a little boy from a fire and saw his mother's smile. I showed it the peaceful mornings with Sarah, when there were no battles, no enemies, just two people in love. And I showed it hope. The symbiote trembled. For the first time in millions of years of existence, it wept, not from pain, but from being set free. I am sorry, it whispered. For everything I have done, I know. I smiled, feeling it gradually merging into my body, but not through force. This time, it was a willing union, a true symbiosis. And I forgive you. 3 months later, I stood on the rooftop of the Eclipse Tower, looking down at New Haven City. The streets were lit up once again. The people no longer feared the darkness. Are you okay? Sarah stepped out from the skylight, smiling at me. Never better. I turned around, and from the shadow behind me, a jet-black form rose up, tall, powerful, with bright white eyes that were no longer frightening. It wrapped around me like a living cloak, and together we gazed toward the horizon. Who are we? Sarah asked, repeating the phrase that had now become our oath. I smiled. Venom also smiled. For the first time in history, its smile was not a threat, but joy. We are Eclipse, and we will protect this city. In the darkness of the night, under the light of the stars, a new entity was born, neither hero nor monster, but a testament that even in the deepest darkness, the light of compassion can still find its way in. What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all very much.